Welcome to my channel, and in today's video we are taking a look at a watch that I wear very frequently. It's almost a daily watch for me, and it's my 1969 Omega Constellation. I don't quite remember if it's from 68 or 69, but it's a Gerald Genta cushion case. It's fairly small, but it wears quite large on the wrist. There's a shot of it on my wrist, as you can see it. I also have the original Omega bracelet that came with this, even though I have it on a leather band now. It looks very different on a leather band. It looks very dressy casual on a leather band, and if I have it on the bracelet it starts looking a lot more formal. Now, the Constellation, as you probably may know, was the top of the line Omega watch of the 1950s, 60s, through the 70s, till the Omega Seamaster starts taking the crown by the late 80s, and really by the 1990s, with the James Bond franchise adopting the Omega as their watch, the Seamaster starts taking the crown on the lineup. But at least in the 50s and the 60s through the 70s, it was the Constellation that was the top of the line watch. Every Constellation came with that star. There would be a gold star, and if you had a top of the line Constellation, it would have the text that would say automatic chronometer, officially certified. That meant essentially Omega would go and put off a sample of the watch with the COSC, and they would certify that this was accurate within a second or some figure like that over 15 days based on various temperatures, various positions, and so on and so forth. And there was always the observatory at Geneva that was a gold medallion that was on the back of the Constellation. As I said, this is a daily wearer and it has never been polished, so it does have some scratches, but it does wear really well. It has a champagne dial, and which does work very well with the gold plating on this one. This is a stainless steel watch. You can see a full solid gold would have gold at the back, whereas this only has gold plating on top. And this had lume once upon a time. That's why you see the tritium next to the Swiss made part. T means, the two T's would mean one is on the hands and the one is on the index marker. But in this case it just deteriorated somewhere over the last 50 years. So now you don't really see lume in the hands where it used to be, and I actually like keeping it that way. It gives it that air of authenticity that it would not have otherwise. If we were to say compare it with my Omega Seamaster Genève, which would be the exact same year as this watch, you can clearly see the difference in class. The Constellation clearly rises above the Genève. The Seamaster, this isn't that bad a watch, and you can see it also wears pretty well on the wrist, but the Seamaster is clearly a level below the Constellation in this case. Now, what do I not like about the Constellation? The one thing that does bother me is how erratic all these Constellations of this time have is the second hand doesn't have a very smooth movement. And remember, these all would have come with 24 jewels as opposed to this, which I'm pretty sure is a 17 jewel movement. And there's really nothing else that one can dislike about a Constellation, especially the Gerald Genta design, which is a bit more contemporary compared to the pipe band design of the 1950s. So this does not have the Dauphine hands. This has very streamlined, very sleek hour markers as well as the hands, something that you would also see on the Genève. Even on the Genève, the 12 o'clock index marker is much more pronounced than, say, on the Constellation. It definitely has presence because it's not a simple round watch like the Genève. This has an oblong case, but then it cuts in, and I really have absolutely, this watch brings me a lot of joy. This is a great watch to wear. So if you can get your hands on a Constellation like this. Now remember, the key thing you have to be careful about is do not buy it from eBay, because 99% of all Constellations sold on eBay will just be fakes. They will, they're either Franken watches, or they are mixing up the dial with the year, with the case. And whenever you buy a watch like this, you want it to be authentic. It's like you don't buy a car that has a body from one year and an engine from another year, and a drivetrain from a completely separate year. That just makes no sense. So it's very important whenever you get these Constellations, you be sure that you get the full package. In all likelihood, your crown would have gotten, the gold plating would have gone off the crown. That's quite normal. So if you find somebody who's selling you a watch where the crown has still the sign, I mean, you can still see the sign on this. It's just a little worn out because you see the brass instead of the gold. That just means it's something they have replaced. Similarly, I don't think you may be able to see it. Let me see. There is the signed Omega logo right on top. Yes, you should be able to see it now. So it's always great to get a watch where you have the original crystal, and it's an easy thing to replace, but moment you get a smooth, shiny, polished crystal on an old watch, you're not getting the real thing. So be sure that whenever you get one of these watches, to try to get it to be as close to the real thing as possible, so that you can get all the joys of having a vintage watch. Anyway, that's my Constellation. It's a beautiful watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel, because I need subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another video.